Hi, everyone. I'm Dyllan McGee. I'm founder and executive producer of Makers. Welcome to Makers at Home Live. You may have noticed that we took a little time off to reflect and listen and learn. And actually, after my conversation with our upcoming guest, I'm going to give you a little sense of some of our thoughts moving forward as a brand and how we're thinking of making changes in everything that we do. But first, today we have the one and only Eva Longoria. I sort of love it when you go to Eva's social media channels. She's got this list of all these extraordinary things that make up who she is. You know, from a director, a producer, entrepreneur, mom, stepmom, cook, and on and on. So there's so much to talk to her about, and of course, she's just an extraordinary public figure in our world today, and has worked relentlessly around issues around the Latinx community. So I'm not gonna talk on. I'm gonna bring Eva on with us right now. Okay, there she is.
Hi!
I know we're so many weeks into this and months into this, but I still like that anxiety, right? Before you get on, you're like, is it gonna work?
I know. I get that with Zoom. I'm like, oh, am I on? Can you see me? And then I'm like, what's behind me? I hope dirty laundry isn't hanging out over here.
No, I see cute family pictures. You're good.
How are you?
I'm okay. And I just want to, right from the get-go say you've been such a great maker supporter. You've been at our conference. You've let us tell your story. You're here. I just want to say thanks.
Oh, thank you for always inviting me. Are you kidding? That's the best community I've ever been a part of. Those maker conferences are just uplifting and inspiring, and like the room is full of hope and light and inspiration, and you just feed off of it. And so it's always so much fun to participate in anything from makers.
Well, we're having to reinvent now and create that magic in the room in things like this. So it's hard to do.
I will say, because I have two charities, the Eva Longoria Foundation and Eva's Heroes. And Eva's Heroes is in Texas, which is programs that help special needs, children with special needs. And what we found during COVID was that we can actually reach more people because you don't have to physically be there. Thank you, Bubba. My son's helping me right now. And we were like, oh, wait, now we can go to the south side of San Antonio. Oh, wait, now we can service. Like, now that everything has become virtual, it's a little positivity to what the future will look like for people who are working from home, just the efficiency. I remember my husband used to say, I have to fly to Argentina to go have a meeting. And I was like, why aren't you doing a Skype? And he would say, oh, no, I got to go. And now it is acceptable. And I think this will help, especially women who have children who are here in the corner playing with.
Where is that cute Santi? What's he doing?
He's over here. Come here, poopies. Santi, ven. Ven aquí, mi vida. Mira, dile hola. Ven, vamos a decir hola. Here's
hola, Santi. Oh, my God, look at that.
Dile hola. Aquí está.
Hola. Hola.
Hola.
Hola.
He's very blonde. I don't know whose child he is. My angel, Papa. ¿Quieres la silla? Toma la silla. So yeah, I just think
I like that's the silver lining, right? Is actually maybe we can have more impact.
Yeah, I think you can reach more people, and more people can participate.
Yeah, good. All right, I like it. You are glass half full. It's true. I've seen it. You've said it about yourself, and you're there, and we need that right now.
Yes.
All right, so let's just start. I do want to talk about COVID. I want to talk about your foundation and everything you're doing. But first, I just want to get your immediate reactions. You took some time. I think it was called what was it? Muted. You participated in, and from June 1st to the 7th, you sort of took time offline and to listen, learn, and reflect. And I'm wondering, what your thought process has been.
So much, this muting was to support Black Lives Matter and really listen and to do the work that it takes to get ourselves. A lot of times we lean on the Black community to educate us, and I think this is the time we have to educate ourselves. There are so systematic problems that we have in this country that economic mobility, equal, social justice, civil rights, for moving forward. And a lot of the gains we made in the 60s during the civil rights movement have been dismantled. And so there's a lot done and in that. I actually went beyond June 7th. I was asking somebody yesterday, June 7th yet? And they said that was, I was like, oh, I should start posting again, because I really enjoyed the break.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what have you been hearing? There's a woman I adore on our team, Natalie Gonzalez Cruz, and I went to her and I said, you know what, I'm talking to Eva Longoria. What questions do you have? And she brought up this issue of within the Latinx community, it's complicated, right? Because you understand the feeling of being marginalized, but at the same time, there's a moment where this is Black Lives Matter. So I'm curious what conversations you've been having in your community. Well,
we would be lying if we didn't understand that our expressions are intertwined. The successes that the Black community has are our successes, and the successes that we have in civil rights are their successes. Well, we are intricately tied together, not to mention the overlap of the Afro-Latino community. So self-identify in how they navigate life. And it's so funny. It's odd being in a Black and white world.
Right.
Because there's a great documentary called A Class Apart. We're not white, but we technically are by race, but not Black. But yet we, in the 50s, we couldn't ride a bus, we couldn't eat at certain restaurants, we couldn't drink at water fountains. Right. So we're a class apart. And so it was hard to win legal battles. A very good story about Gus Garcia, the first Mexican-American lawyer to argue in front of the Supreme Court.
Wait, say his name again, just because I think you broke up.
Gus Garcia.
Gus Garcia.
Gus Garcia. And that case was the same year as Brown versus the Board of Education. So nobody heard of it because Brown versus the Board of Education was such a big case. But it was really the case that allowed Mexican Americans to serve on juries, which never happened before, which you go, thanks a lot. But at the same time, it's important because we should be judged by a jury of our peers. And in that point in Texas, there had never been a Mexican American or a Black person on a jury. And so things like that, where you go, oh yeah, I didn't really look at it through that lens. Just like it's hard for me, I still have a white gaze in life, and that's why I'm trying to educate myself through these amazing books. I have one here.
Yeah, what have you been reading? About
the Black Lives Matter movement, but also just about their struggles. Because you think you know the African American civil rights struggle. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, but you don't. You got to do a deep dive into that. And I encourage people to do a deep dive into Latino history as well, because there are atrocities still happening to our community. There are still children in cages at the border, and so our farm workers that are mostly migrants,
right?
The American food supply going. And it took a global pandemic to declare them essential workers. They've always been essential workers.
I know.
There's a lot of educating that we can be doing ourselves, and we stand together with our Black brothers and sisters in the struggle.
Yeah. No, it's been, and that whole, I don't know if you you probably don't know this, but the other side of me, I am partnered with Henry Louis Gates Jr. and I produce Finding Your Roots, and you were on there. And I actually went this morning to look at your DNA. Yeah. Because what you and it was, I'm going to read it. It was 70% European.
Yeah.
27% Asian, with even maybe a very, very distant connection to Yo-Yo Ma way, way back when, which I loved. And 3% African. So you think, I don't know if you've thought about that in terms of race.
Hey, when did we do that? We must have did that 10 years ago.
It was 5 years ago.
No, because I was married to somebody else.
Right. Okay. Okay, you're right. 7 years ago. Okay. We know the timeline. Okay.
But no, it blew my mind because my entire life was like, soy mexicana de corazón, I'm Mexican. And my dad would always say, you know, we're actually Spanish and we're actually from Europe. And I was like, okay, Dad, whatever. And whenever Dr. Gates presented me with my DNA and it said, you are not only Spanish, but 70%, like still that much from the Iberian side. And then the Asian part, which is actually indigenous Native American.
Yes,
So
yes. I should make that clarification. Yes.
Yeah. So people are, you're Asian. I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
no.
because of the Bering Strait, and then, you know, migrating down in North America, Central America, Mesoamerica, all, you know, and so that's and I was like, oh my God, I'm an Aztec princess. And they're like, actually you're from the Mayan tribe. I'm Mayan and Spanish. Like, oh, I was totally wrong about everything. And it really rocked my world in the sense of my family were the oppressors in Mexico. You know what I mean? Like historically from the 1600s, they were from Spain and they came and did the genocide of these beautiful indigenous cultures. And to reconcile that was a tough pill to swallow. You know, we should all do a dive into your history.
Into your history. I mean, I think if we all did,
you know, you would have more compassion to those who have come before you.
Yeah. Well, you have compassion oozing out of you, Eva. And I'm wondering how you've been thinking about your foundation and that megaphone that you have and how you're responding to everything going on, both COVID and, I mean, the pandemic and the pandemic within the pandemic.
Yeah. It's my foundation luckily is, but we're still continuing to do some great work and making everything available online on our website. A lot of the things we do is parental engagement programs, teaching parents how to navigate the school system to best advocate for their child. And so a lot of still
it's hard
able to do online. I think the only sad part is that we've had so many graduates. That is a big, graduating from high school is a big feat for somebody in the Latino community. And so not being able to walk the stage and applaud them in the should be has been sad and disappointing, but we're still proud of them. We still amplify on our social media channels just to let them know that we are proud is a big deal and your future is very, very bright.
Oh, it's so great. I love everything that you do with education. And it is, you know, I keep saying, I have a son who just graduated from high school and I keep saying, you know what, it has been hard, but I'm taking an Eva Longoria half glass full moment where it's something that it's very unique. They are the only ones who will have that, right?
Yeah. They're going to look back and go, oh my gosh, that was the year that this happened. Like, I remember the year of the space shuttle. I think I was
right.
Was I in third grade? I don't remember, but I remember. No, I don't remember.
Oh, you mean the explosion?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Oh, what was her name? Christy McCullough or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always that, and it's a marker in your life. And, you know, one big mantra that I've had through this COVID and last 3 months is just, and this too shall pass, right? This is going to pass and we're going to move past this and we're going to be better for it and we're going to keep it moving. And that helps me probably get through the days because it's like, this is temporary.
Do you feel like you've learned anything about yourself in the past 3 months?
I really like me. And I know that sounds crazy, but like some people spend time with themselves.
Yeah.
And I think when people, you know, I've been meditating a lot. I've done Deepak Chopra's 21-day challenge 3 times already. 3 times over. And I did it with my girlfriends and did it with my group of friends. And it's great also meditating in a group. But just, I really enjoy my company. And I think people don't value their own self-worth enough. And they're constantly pouring out and filling other people's cups. And so I've been able to do that now with this, you know, time off. And I'm very privileged to be able to do that. I totally understand. I'm in a position that I can afford to sit back.
But still, giving yourself permission to say it's okay to think of me and be okay with who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm not bad. I've gotten good company.
Yeah. Yeah. When people go, you're going by yourself? And I'm like, I'm not by myself. I'm taking me, and I love me.
All right. Well, I know we only have 4 more minutes. And one of the things that we've been doing on these is what are the 3 things that have been getting you through these past 3 months?
Well, meditation's
meditation.
Meditation's a big one. I think the other 2 is puzzles and prosecco.
What kind of puzzles?
1,000-piece puzzles.
Oh, like real, not just. Oh, okay. You've been actually putting puzzles. How many do you think you've done? I've done 5.
But I stopped. I mean, I started early in the quarantine and did 3 right away, and then they're not available. You can't buy a puzzle right or nowhere to be found. And I love puzzles. And I discovered prosecco. I don't know where I've been, but that's been a lot of fun.
Well, I have to say, it was so fun watching you at your social distance anniversary with Santi learning, flamenco. Oh,
yes, that's an amazing group called Front Yard Flamenco, and they'll come to your house and social distance and perform for you. A dear friend of mine, Manuel Gutierrez, runs it, and I wanted to surprise my husband with it. And the funny thing is, we both wanted to surprise each other with the same present. And so they came and performed, and it was just so nice to be in the presence of music and creativity and performance, and just to sit and enjoy it, because we haven't been around that. And
right, there's something about the liveness of that and feeling the music, right?
Yeah, which has been, it was really a gift. So check them out on Instagram, Front Yard Flow. They'll come and perform.
We'll send them love. And my last question to you is, again, just this constant theme of I can feel it through the screen, glass half full. And so I'm wondering, what is making you hopeful right now?
The amount of young people protesting. Obama said it best when he said, it's actually a positive thing when you see that young people actively engaged in their civic and in civil disobedience.
Yeah.
Every major structural change that has happened in the history of our country, the suffragette movement, the civil rights movement, everything has been through civil disobedience. There hasn't been a lawmaker that goes, you know what, I feel like make things better. It's been the people.
Yeah.
The people have created change in the country. And so when you see the amount of young people, it actually gives me hope. I look at them in awe, and really my heart, I understand it's going to be up to them to do things differently, because what we're doing, our generation doing, is not working. So I think
we need them
approach. We definitely need them.
Well, I know that even though you say we need them, and our generation has, maybe not been as effective as I think they're going to be, I know that so many of them are inspired by you. And I know our at Makers Women community loves you. And so, Eva, I'm so appreciative of you being here today. And thanks for spreading goodness and hope into the world.
Thank you so much. There's my Texas, my state.
Well, if you know Texas, so you must know, all Texans know Juneteenth. I feel like the world is now learning about Juneteenth. But that's been a big part of Texas and your history.
Yeah, for sure.
So enjoy Juneteenth. Thank you for being with us. Sending lots of kisses and goodbye to Santi.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, everybody. On behalf of At Makers Women, we're so grateful that you were all with us today. I do just want to give a moment to thank our incredible team, and also just give you a sense of, we're pushing things forward as a brand, and we have made these commitments, and we're only just beginning. So stick with me as I read these 5 things. Moving forward, 1/3 of Makers profiles will be of Black women and men. 50% of the speakers at our conferences and events will be people of color. Understanding the depths of racism in our society and fighting to end its tyranny will be woven into all our future events. We'll focus on on how women of privilege can be better accomplices and use our power more forcefully and consistently. And we've already committed to majority female production crews, and we're going to ensure that we also focus on making an effort towards having members on our crew be people of color. So thank you all for being here today. Makers is thinking about all of you and sending some Eva Longoria goodness to all of you. Thank you. Bye.